Hey, welcome inside the Hera Press Box. We are back with another Sunday evening edition, and we've got one main topic for today, which might take up the whole time.
hmm
That is the midway point of the NWSL season. And as a teaser last week, kind of mentioned that we'd have a list of players who would be potential all-star candidates for the midway point of the season. We could run through draft our teams, kind of like the NHL does for their all-star game, and maybe discuss what an all-star weekend would look like, going
hmm
from the venue to events that we would want to see,
hmm
and how that would go down if it does happen in WSL. And I guess in my thinking of bringing this up, I was wondering, when do we get to that point? Do we need more teams in order to, because right now you only you have 10 maybe, so you can
Right.
with a little dedication you can watch every game all the time, so you don't miss anything. Whereas other sports leagues where you have 20 to 30 teams, it's kind of
Right.
tough to see all the talent. So that's what this all-star weekend would do, is bring together
hmm
teams. How far away do you think we are from seeing an all-star weekend in WSL?
Yeah, I don't think we're too far off. It's a little bit surprising that it hasn't happened. I think the way that we're doing it now would be completely different than the way that they would do it, which is probably a little bit of the issue, and which is why I'd say wait till we get another two, maybe four teams in the league.
As
Just
far as
add,
conferences, maybe.
yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I think that is kind of the next step, I think, before necessarily an all star game is to add some teams in there and then have the all star game. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we're close. I think it would be awesome to have it. I think it would be a good thing for the league to have. Just a matter of getting it together and putting it in the works.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and start saying we're having it right now.
Okay.
2017
All right.
NWSL our all-star game. Where are we having it at first?
Well, didn't you say Portland last time?
Yeah, West
Yeah.
Coast
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I think,
Portland.
yeah, I think that would be pretty difficult for it not to be there.
I agree. Okay, so it's in Portland.
At 2:50 in the afternoon on a Saturday
2:50 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
in June or
Correct.
July or July.
Yep.
Well, are we going to do it halfway through the season? Or are we going to do it like at the end of the season, like a Pro Bowl?
No. Halfway through.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Midway. What? Let's go and draft rosters, and then we'll talk about maybe events and
Okay.
other stuff. So I went through and got a list of 30 players. That
Mm-hmm.
list and I will draft
Mm-hmm.
15 of each on our teams.
Mm-hmm.
These 30 players were pulled from, uh, so goal scorers were on there. Before tonight's NWSL game, if you had scored 3 goals or more, you were listed. You were on this list. I did the same thing for assists. Can't remember the number of assists that I had on there. Then I selected 4 goalies and defenders. I went by, so because it's such a trash stat system currently for the NWSL,
Mm-hmm.
and there's literally nothing you could base it on. I sorted stat by minutes played and found defenders that way. And as long as that name made sense to see them on in the All Star
Mm-hmm.
game,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't run into any problems. So
Right.
that's how our defender names come from. And then each team has at least one player. And I do
Okay.
believe Houston is the only team that has one.
One. Yeah.
Boston has two. And so, yeah, it's not like both of us are going to have a player from each team, but every team will be represented on our rosters. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to use a 3-3-4 formation because we want it to be a 10 to 10, 11 to 10 game,
Right.
maybe 10-10 with these guys. And let's go ahead and get started, I guess. And since you're upset with the roster, I can let you go first.
No, I was gonna say I'll let you go first because you let me go first in the flag football draft. So you can go
Okay.
ahead.
Do you have a guess as to who I'm going to take?
My guess in the sense of goalies are essentially what we're gonna pick last because we can. I mean, there's not that many of them. My guess is that you would pick Huerta.
Yep. Okay. So that I'll keep track of mine, I guess. So
Yeah, and I'll
You-
try and keep track of.
Okay.
Then are we gonna go every other here?
Yeah, we'll go everyone. And I don't know. Do we? I mean, I guess if you have a sentence you want to say about that player, I think Huerta's really coming into her own
Right.
in the league now,
Yeah.
and that's a great team to be on. And she kind of just got to develop over the last year and a half. I think she's worthy of a number one pick on an all-star team.
Right. That was one of my first picks overall for my team. So there goes that pick, but so that's what I assumed you would take in her right away. So let's see. I will go with Rapinoe.
Okay.
Midfield.
Who scored 2 this weekend, right? So
Yep.
she made sure she got her name on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Mark her off.
Yeah, I should type this up.
I will, in the second pick, another Red Star, Kristen Press.
Yeah, you go. All right, fine. All right, then I'll match you with a forward, and I will take Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr, the Aussie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I heard her. I like her, but she was probably not going to be drafted by me very early. So, my third pick. Yeah, it's fine for you.
Yeah, it is.
My third pick is defender Abby Dahlkemper.
Okay. You scared me there for a second.
Defender? Yeah, no, because, well, are you picking her now? Because I'm picking her next if you don't.
Okay, yeah, I was going to pick her next because you went defense there. I was going to wait on defense. So Krieger.
Yeah. Fourth pick for me is a player that I've talked about a bit, FCKC Alexa Newfield. Very impressive so far this year, and now finally scoring, so becoming a complete player.
Mm-hmm. I will go with Mewis.
Yeah. Sam Mewis. You have Kerr, Rapinoe, Mewis, Krieger.
Yep.
Okay, fifth pick for me. I'm going goalie now.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Sabrina D'Angelo.
Ooh, I was not expecting that from you.
No?
No, I was not.
I mean, yeah, there's 3 goalies that I would like to have on this team out of those 4. So
Right. So that helps me out. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll go defense and I'll take Sonnet.
Emily Sonnet, okay. Another forward for me, Nadia Nadim.
I really didn't want to have to pick this person at forward, but I will take Sinclair.
Why do you want to pick her? Because she's from the best country ever?
Well, easy now. Well, that's why I mean, as far as why I didn't want to pick her, did you ask? Yeah. I mean, she's too good not to pick, though, so I had to put my feelings aside for the country to our north.
What's the 7th pick for me is going to be just Steph Catley. defender.
Oh, you are terrible at this.
What, you're going to match the Aussies?
I
You're too late.
Man.
You still have another defender that's an Aussie out there?
Yeah.
Same
but
team?
I wasn't gonna go with I was just going purely off of who I wanted on my team.
Oh. Well, too late. As soon as you lose. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'll take Camilla.
Okay. I will take Ortega. Spirit.
Hmm.
So there's my starting forwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I better start picking some forwards here. So let's see. I need. Man, there's just one forward that I'm just not gonna. I'll take Natasha. I'll take.
Okay. Solid.
She's pretty impressive. Yeah, at least every game that I've watched so far of theirs, you're constantly hearing them say her name. So always a good sign, hopefully.
Yeah, and just as impressive, almost surprisingly impressive, as far as a out of nowhere or player coming on the scene, I will select the goal scoring Sarah Killian of Sky Blue.
Yeah. Oh, and I haven't even picked a goalie yet.
Nope.
Look at that. So I'll pick mine now. We'll just go with Nair.
Okay. So Nair was 13th on my big board.
My big board.
12th on that big board.
Mm-hmm.
Another goal in, I'm going to go ahead and take her anyway because I don't want the other one. So Kaylin Sheridan.
Yeah. So how many goalies? So that leaves me with. Who else is on here? I'm not even going to worry about that.
And you're doing this live still?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much I'm doing this live. I didn't have a chance to pretty much, at least these last couple players. I'm going to go with Adriana.
Okay. 11th pick for me, right? Yeah, 11th pick, Christine Nairn.
And this is difficult because I don't have it printed out, so I'm basing it off of knowledge right now.
Uh-huh.
So let's see. I am in still. Man. I don't want to pick this forward again.
Go ahead, because I don't have to. Oh, come on.
Nope. Hayes.
Maya Hayes from Penn State University. Okay, and finish out my three-person backline rookie, Mandy Freeman.
All right, so we're all done with starting, right?
Yep. Yep. I think Freeman the only rookie that has. Yeah, looks like the only rookie to make the All-Star game.
Look at that. All right. So since she hasn't been picked and now she is not in my starting lineup, so I might just keep her on the bench.
Uh-huh.
Marta.
I was already going to have to cross her name off. 13th pick for me. Let's see. Is going to be McCall Zerboni.
You're taking all my midfielders.
Yep, all midfielders have been selected now.
I'm going to go with Poliana.
Okay. Poliana off the board. The dash. Representative. Yep. 14th pick for me. We're gonna start digging now.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
going down to 3, 4. Emily Mingus, defender for me.
God. You know, I need to start learning to draft better. Good thing I'm not
Yeah,
in
no
upper
kidding.
management.
So we have 3 players left.
Kennedy and
Yep.
who else is left? Oh,
Kawasumi.
Kawasumi. Man, I should. And who else is left? Oh,
French.
French. Well, I have to draft French.
Yep. You take
So,
her now or last?
yeah. Let's just take her now. I mean, might as well.
Okay. And I will draft between Kawasumi and Kennedy. I'll take the Aussie.
All right.
Your last pick.
Kawasumi.
Kawasumi. Okay, so we did say all their names, but I'll just run through those players, just who made the team. Francisca Ortega, Nadia Nadim, Christine Sinclair, Naomi Kawasumi, Alexa Newfield, Natasha Dowie, Marta, Sam Kerr, Kristen Press, and Maya Hayes were forwards to make our All-Star game. Midfielders, Sarah Killian, Megan Rapinoe, Adriana Leon, Christine Nairn, Nicole Zerboni, Sophia Huerta, and Sam Mewis. On defense, Mandy Freeman, Steph Catley, Abby Dahlkemper, Alana Kennedy, Camilla, Ali Krieger, Emily Sonnet, Emily Mingus, and Poliana, and then in goal, Sabrina D'Angelo, Alyssa Nair, Kaylin Sheridan, Adriana Franch, and let's hear what your gripes are with those players.
With those players in general?
Or yeah, so who got snubbed? Because I mean, they're obviously.
Well, it depends on. So essentially, the way we did it is the way that I think in general All-Star games should go. Should be based off stats, right? Because essentially you're taking the best players from on each team, essentially. And I like how you did it. You had representation of all teams, so you at least have one player. But I don't think that this is how they would necessarily do it. It's not how All-Star games are really done. It's based on fan voting. So you're going to see.
Like Poliana's not being the representative of the Dash.
Right. I mean, you're
It's
going to
Carly
get.
Lloyd who's played 3 games.
Right. Exactly. And so in a way, I like this, but I don't think this setup is going to bring in a lot of fans. I mean, people are still going to show up, but if you're not having an Allie Long, an Alex Morgan, a Carly Lloyd, pretty much the whole Canadian U.S. national team, and then the U.S. national team. If you're not having that, with a few others like Marta and high quality players from other countries, I think it's going to be difficult to bring in as much revenue as you possibly can.
I strongly disagree, especially in Portland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think it has to be played in Portland.
I think Orlando's the same way.
Right.
And Seattle.
But I don't think it can. I mean, it would be able to survive, but I'm thinking if you're trying, at least from a business standpoint, if you're trying to make the most money that you possibly can, which is what essentially sports goal is to get as much money in, they aren't going to have it this way.
If they break even, is it? Yeah, well, I mean, it's enough to do it this way, right?
Right. If they break even, yeah, I think that would be a successful event in general for the NWSL. Which I would, I know they would be able to do in a Portland, in a Seattle, in Orlando.
Okay, you don't have any other players that you wanted to see on there besides those, then? Besides like national players, then?
I'm trying to think if there's anybody. Not besides national players. In national players, I'm a little bit surprised that LaRue didn't make it. I think she is one of those that maybe hasn't shown up on the stat side, but has been playing fairly well, at least from what I've seen of her.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think that they would do it if they were to do an all-star game? Would they do it this way, or would they let the fans vote?
They'd probably let the fans vote.
Right. Okay.
I don't think they should. I mean, not. I don't know. I think you let the fans vote for some of the players, but I think you have to also reward the players.
Right. Who don't have a big name.
Yeah, exactly. Because then we're starting to talk about lesser known players like who's on here that I could use as an example, such as I don't know, probably Emily Mingus, who is a really solid player, but not well known, and probably want to get in on a fan vote. There's how many Minguses out there that have a good year and then don't get credit for it and don't go to an all-star game, don't receive recognition. Then I think you start being able to see them debate if they should stay here and play in this league or go overseas and play.
Right. Yeah.
Look for other markets.
Right. And I think you're right on with that. I think that there should be maybe one player at each position where it's a fan vote, maybe, or, so outside of goalie, I guess, or you could even put in keeper, but one forward, but one midfield and one defensive player. And whoever gets the highest votes, you list everybody's name on there. Whoever gets the highest vote, they're the one player, or, the 4 players, 3 players that are fan voted, and then everything else is based on essentially who you see fit to play in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could also see with a fan vote, if you kind of let it get out of control, who's to say we're not going to see all Thorns make the team?
Right.
So that's something else I would think about. And yeah, it would be interesting if they do this, because it's not like they're going to be able to do a test run to see a test vote and see, make sure that they can get around that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So but another option is maybe having players outside of the all-star rosters come in and compete in different events, which we just mentioned. Any events that you'd want to see in an all-star weekend?
I would say kind of similar to the skills challenge of the NBA. So that would be kind of cool to see.
Like a track through the field?
Right. Or just, half the field, anything like that. Just precision with passing, with shooting. So I think that would be cool to see, just because the things that they can do are pretty incredible.
Would a goalie challenge be feasible?
What do you mean by goalie challenge? Like penalty kicks?
Yeah, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I think that was going to be my next kind of event. And I think that it would be cool if the goalies would be able to stop it, because penalty kicks are so difficult in general just to stop. So I would think it's more exciting for a penalty to be kicked to be blocked than for it to be scored, I think, in my mind.
Yep.
I suppose it depends on which team you're rooting for and things like that. But it's more exciting for them not to score on a penalty kick, which is very difficult to do in soccer.
What about a drop kick challenge?
Oh, that would be cool. I think that would be something that could be worthwhile.
And along those same lines, maybe either a free kick challenge or a corner kick challenge, where you maybe have to hit into a trash can or something like that. Right. Not a trash can, but, well, if we want to save some money, trash cans.
Right. Yeah, you could do something like that as far as corner kicks and things like that. Again, part of kind of that precision point accuracy that these women have.
But I guess that would be all my ideas for events.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything. There's some sort of trick shot that they can do.
Like a game of horse.
Right. Yeah, I was just gonna say a game of horse or something like that.
Different size nets or
Right.
hoops up in the air, kicking them through hoops.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's some potential there. That's all I wanted to say about All-Star Weekend, I think. If do you have anything else come to mind?
No, my only question was I already asked you was if we were going to do it halfway through the season or at the end of the season. But what would I guess my other question, I do have one more. What do you think teams as far as front office and coaches and training staff, what do you think the game would be like? Because our coaches, our front office is going to be like, so let's just take Kristen Press for right now, because most likely she's going to be on the team. We get a fan vote, whatever, she's going to be on the team.
Yep.
Let's say Red Stars are in first place. They're playing well. Seems like they're going to win it all this year. What kind of pressure does she have not to play, essentially? What kind of advice is she getting from coaches, from training staff, from the front office? What is the effort like in this game with it being halfway through the season?
So my initial thought when you bring that up is I don't think you can be 90 minutes of a game.
Okay.
I mean, I would almost say let's just play a half. Let's play 45 minutes, or let's do something where you play a 60-minute game, split it up into two halves, and then have the skills competition in the middle. You got a halftime sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 40 minutes and do it at the 20-minute mark, something along those lines.
Right.
Or maybe 45 events and then 15, 30 events, 15, something like that.
Right. Yeah, that would be my only concern is if with it being halfway through the season, I mean, we see it all the time in all-star games. And even in the Pro Bowl, I mean, it's after the season already. So, and they're going at 20%.
Yeah.
And that's a generous percentage.
Yep.
So that's one thing that is just I would be concerned about with a game like this. Because you don't want it to be where they're only going 50%. You want to see them actually go out and play. But kind of going along with your at least time frame, you could do smaller teams, which doesn't necessarily help out. You could do a shorter field. But I think you're right in that it does have to be less than 90 minutes. There's no way. And then with that being said, you also have to pair that with, well, you can't just have essentially a 40-minute game or even a 60-minute game. You got to add in those events. You have to keep it either doing something before it or after it. And then do you bring in specific people who maybe didn't make the all-star team into those events? So are you pulling a midfield for the skills? Are you pulling maybe a different goalie who's just really ridiculous at blocking penalty kicks over a starting goalie or something like that? So lots of variables.
Yeah. I think the effort would be there, at least in an enjoyable way to watch.
I think so too.
I think the players would enjoy that. I mean, especially if it's a shorter time and you get a longer break and you're just kind of out there playing with those other players. I think that seems like it would be enjoyable to me.
Right. Yeah, I don't disagree with you in that, especially if it would be shorter than 90 minutes. I don't foresee effort being a problem whatsoever. But just an idea. I mean, are you going to send your star defender out there? Are you going to send your star forward out there type of situation? And even if you do, are they comfortable with playing in it? I mean, are you going to give them the option to say, hey, no, I'm good with not playing in it, you know?
Right. No, and I think that would be an option. I think it would have to be. I mean, and there probably would be up to 12 players turn it down just for one reason or another, which is fine. I mean, they got that acknowledgement and recognition, and
Right.
other players do get that chance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. So I will run through the scores.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's see. I have everything besides. So in the WNBA over the weekend, LA beat Washington today. Atlanta, the Dream, beat Liberty. And yesterday's action saw Connecticut beat the Fever, and Seattle win by 20 over the Wings. Chicago Bandits played the Canadian national team, won 7-0 against Canada. Wisconsin's Kelsey Jenkins went 0-2 for Canada. And in the NWSL, which only one of these scores I know because it's the only game I got to watch this weekend. Once it gets pulled up. Yeah, and then today's game was 2-1, -1, Rachel Daly and Michelle Prince scores. Yesterday's game, Sky Blue 1-0 over the first place by only 1 point now, North Carolina Courage. Boston Breakers beat Washington 1-0. The Red Stars beat Orlando 1-0. And Seattle shut out Portland 2-0 rain win. So that means that, like I said, 1 point lead for the Courage.
Right.
Dash up to 7th in the standings. And FCKC down to 8 after that loss. Boston and Washington at the bottom.
Wow.
538 has updated their predictions for the NWSL. I don't know if you've ever looked I've even seen that they make predictions on the league.
No, I did not know that.
And I don't know if they've done it every week. Only every once in a while I see it is advertised, so to say, on their homepage. They have 4 teams above a 60% chance of making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Seattle, North Carolina, Chicago, and Portland. Then Sky Blue has a 43% chance, and everybody else is 20% or under. And they have 3 teams at 20% or above to win the championship: Seattle, North Carolina, and Chicago. You got to watch games yesterday?
I didn't get to watch anything this weekend, which I'm not happy about. I wish I would have been able to see the Dash game tonight, but maybe that's the key. Maybe I don't watch it and they win. So might just have to keep that one up.
Huh.
I don't know when it happened, if it happened Thursday or maybe Friday at some point, but the Stars finally got their first win.
Yeah, and that's the game you were watching, right?
Yeah, well, I tried to watch it, but I think it was on the League Pass. Maybe I caught the tail end of it on the NBA TV. Maybe they showed it. So that's good, or at least in my opinion, that's good. You don't want to have, in my mind, you don't want to have a team that's struggling so much after just drafting number 1, and then in another season they're going to draft number 1 again. So stockpiling picks, and hopefully it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, and I have not seen them play. I've just seen, you sent me the Kelsey Plum highlight, and I've been able to watch more of those same types of highlights, mainly just of her. I don't think I've seen anything else besides Kelsey Plum highlights for the Stars.
Yeah, I actually just came across this article about how they're essentially going to try and develop Plum, which they were going to play her, McBride, and Mariah Jefferson. Like, that was kind of the vision that they had, at least in the beginning. And from what I've seen, the couple of games that I've seen from them, they really haven't played much together, all 3 on the same court, which, whether that be just coach's decision, she thinks it's not working, or something. I don't know, but it would. I don't know why you wouldn't play all three of them together on the court at the same time. It makes a little bit of sense to do so.
Yeah. If you're trying to win the game, at least,
Right.
right? As far as
Right.
winning and development.
Yeah.
Who is that coach? Do you know?
Hold on. Last name is Johnson. Vicky Johnson.
Okay. Vicky Johnson. Not familiar, I guess.
But it's crazy, right? Because it's a 3-guard offense, but I think Kelsey's, at least from what I've seen from Kelsey, her game is a guard position, but it also can transform into pretty much anything you want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, she's built for that league, ready for that league. So
Right.
at some point, if they haven't already and I just haven't paid close enough attention, you got to just turn the keys over to her and let her go.
Yeah, and it just the last question here is saying that they're pretty much the coach and general manager refused to answer basic questions about lineups and stuff. So basically asking, why aren't you putting all three of them together? How come they haven't coexisted?
Mm-hmm.
What has changed? Has your opinion changed? Do they need to just play more together? And if that's the reason, then why aren't they working together? Is this something that you don't think is going to work anymore? Because I'm skimming through this article. I think it's on Fansided.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about there was a little bit reluctance in Vicky Johnson to select Plum with the first pick, which is a little bit crazy to think, but I guess if you're a coach that doesn't believe in a 3-guard system or that a 3-guard system can work in a league, then it makes sense. And we're kind of seeing that now, so you would think that she thinks it's not going to work, but she hasn't. I don't think she's given it a valiant effort yet in order to say that it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. I agree. No, and I'll need to start paying more attention to that team at least. So figure out what's going on.
Well, I have a feeling McBride might be out or want to be out just because of. Now it's at least back-to-back seasons where they're not doing anything. They have one win, and you would think that she would want out, but who knows? She may stick around.
Yeah, but we'll probably talk more about them as the WNBA season rolls on. Maybe see some trades or some shakeups there. So we can talk about that. What else we will talk about probably on Thursday as the third major against tomorrow. One American plays tomorrow. No Americans. Tuesday, I guess. Tuesday at 5:30. Sloane Stevens and Coco Vandeweghe play 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday. I will be watching tomorrow. Cibulkovo plays in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep, starts at 6. Cibulkovo plays, Bouchard plays, and Sakari plays.
Okay.
So I'll have 3 matches to watch, but that starts tomorrow, and we'll talk about that on Thursday and the weekend next weekend, I'm sure.
Early predictions.
Same players as I always say.
Same. Pick one.
All right, Caroline.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I almost want to say.
You're still a fan of her, though, even though she did Body Magazine? You're still.
Yeah, it's whatever.
You have forgiven her.
Yeah, I guess. I think I honestly want to say if Sloane Stevens plays well her first match, I think that I can see her getting back up to speed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised to see her win at least a few rounds, if not a handful of rounds. We'll see.
Yeah.
Any from you predictions?
Mostly people of who I want to win. I'm with you on Wozniacki. I think it's time for her to really step up while Serena's out. Because that's pretty much been her really big challenge was Serena. Pretty much anybody's big challenge was Serena.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see Kvitova win. I hope at least Bouchard does well. I'm kind of looking for her to kind of break through with some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, same thing with Sloane. If Bouchard can get going, I think she's going to be on a roll. It's just a matter of which Bouchard is going to show up.
Yeah, she does well on grass too, so this is
right. Yep, exactly.
Good shot for her.
Mm-hmm.
To really make a name for herself.
Yeah.
But we are at 41 minutes now, so I will sign off unless you have something you want to say to end with.
No, that is all that I wanted to say for tonight.
Okay, then we will talk again on Thursday. Thanks for stopping by the Hera Press Box.